Shout out to Cats Pod.
A big defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We are back, and it is a great weekend to be a Bobcat, a great year to be a Bobcat. And Eric, do you hear that?
I don't hear anything, man.
Silence, man. Crickets going on right now. Silenced all the haters and did it perfectly, just the way they've been playing the entire season.
The harder I listen, though, I do hear the faint sound of sobbing coming from the Missoula area. It is faint, but it is there.
The world's tiniest violin playing over across the mountains. So you can just kind of hear it in the background, just barely peeking over those ridges.
But it's the loudest people in the world have officially been shut up for good, man. I mean,
or at least for the next few months.
Can you ever remember a time where Griz fans have truly been shut up? Like they have been put in their place finally after. I mean, you think about it. 0-11 happened in what, 2001? 2000, something like that. I don't have the
around there. Just
going off memory here, but something like that. And then you finally break the streak in 2002 with Travis Lulay, and we go through this, period of actually being competitive again. But we get through the Kramer days and the Coke Green and the murders, and then we kind of crater back down. Then we get into the Rob Ash, and Rob Ash was like, the right guy at the right time to kind of put the pieces back together. We had some incredible athletes come through during his tenure, but he just never could quite get over the Griz hill, if you will.
That was the only thing he struggled with.
It was. And, he never had a defense to back him up. I mean, they were all right, but, really never had that defense. And so then you find Jeff Choate, and Jeff Choate was a grizzly killing machine, but he never could get the level that MSU ultimately wanted, and they found Vigen.
Yeah.
They found Vigen, and all he has done since he's been here is win football games and win them the right way with the right people around him.
Yeah.
And and in the meantime, we also somehow lucked into the greatest university president that we will ever see. And I mean, an athletic director that I don't know that anybody could put theirs up against ours for just strictly on the fact of what they've done with our athletics.
Yeah, just the way they've grown the facilities, all the programs. The basketball program's been doing great, as well as the football program, and I'm sure there's a lot of strides being made in the other sports as well. It is the top of the mountain as far as Montana State has ever been athletically.
It is. And the cool thing is we've made all this progress believing in putting the Montana kids winning the recruiting battle at home. And what Brett Vigen just proved to the entire world is that you don't need the transfer portal. I mean, there's a couple guys, but we're talking like 5 maximum that he's recruited for this team. He did this recruiting heavily in state, finding the right guys out of state, and then just a little sprinkle or garnish of transfer portal on the top. And this is a year removed of where we got gutted by the portal.
Yeah.
FBS gutted us.
Yeah.
But he had the guys in place waiting. Granted, they're young, but I mean, who would have thought? I know we thought we were going to be very good this year. I don't think either one of us were saying this is a national championship potentially roster.
Yeah, we were thinking it would be competitive for sure. Like they would have the opportunity, late in the playoffs and everything. But after the season that we had last year, there was no way we were going to be predicting, and it wasn't an undefeated season, but another season like last year, where they win through, they get to the national championship. We thought there was going to be a step back, and there was no step back whatsoever. It was only a step up.
Yeah, and you could make the argument that, you know, they took the next step forward, which is, you know, we talked a lot about dynasty building.
Yep.
And how, you know, in the off season, and that we felt that there was enough young guys on here to just create the machine that churns all these guys constantly.
Yep.
And I'll be gosh darned if it didn't come true, because
All
that's
the
what
way.
we have. We have a bunch of young guys. I mean, that defense, you take out the 3 seniors on the line, and who's the oldest one? Caden Dowler as a junior?
Yep. That's what you
I mean,
got.
these guys, if they're this good this year, what are they going to be like next year if guys stick around? I mean, yeah, you lose 3 super studs on your D line, but guess who's waiting right behind him?
Yeah.
The next group of dudes, the Zach Cruzes of the world, who is, I mean, that guy has elevated his game substantially from last, and he was good last year.
Definitely.
No,
It has been leaps and bounds that we weren't even expecting out of this team, and they have just proven every single person wrong, especially with the game yesterday. That was just a showcase of how strong the Cat defense is, as well as the Cat offense. Like, both sides were clicking in a way that I don't think we've seen in any game this year. Like, when it comes down to, like, the major competition, I don't, like, usually it's been complementary football. So it's like the defense is struggling one game, the offense will go off. The offense is struggling a little bit, the defense goes off. This game, both units just went hard the entire game, and it was impressive.
You know, and I think, you know, all that stuff I said earlier, I think the whole point I was trying to make was that I feel like I'm not alone here, that this is the proudest I have ever been to be a Bobcat fan.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, we remember the dark days, and now we're here. We have won 8 out of 10, the last 10 Cat Grizzes. We've won 3 in a span of 15 months. We beat them twice in, you know, 30 days or whatever the heck it was.
Yep.
And it's just it's the full evolution. And I just, you know, the little brother thing is dead.
Yeah.
That's gone.
It's a fun joke now to just keep calling ourselves little brother, because little brother's doing big things. Let me tell you, big things.
I mean, what this team essentially did and it was a statement win too.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a 3-point win. It was a statement win. They came out and essentially said, "No more of this. We are, you know, we are what you used to be."
Yeah.
You know, this is how we're going to play football now, and you guys can try and keep up. But for now, sayonara. We're the number 1 team in Montana.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling.
It is a good feeling, and before we get too much further into this, I definitely have to shout out Gary from Wolf Point that allowed me to be at this game. And I appreciate you and Barry and just enabling me to be able to witness this history and be involved and be with all of the Cat fans, because it was just a glorious day all around.
It was.
So happy I could be there.
It was. And you know, the podcasts, they really came through on that one. That was pretty cool to see. And what I will say, and this to all of Bobcat Nation, everybody stuck to their guns. They didn't. Very few Grizzly fans were there.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an eagle eye view over that stadium from up in the box. And I bet there wasn't even 500 Grizzlies in that stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably was, but like, it just didn't seem like very many. You couldn't find like a big group of them in there.
It was honestly sad because I was in standing room for most of the game, and just the smattering of Griz fans that were over there in the standing room only section with me, it was kind of sad, honestly, because whenever the Griz would just kind of do something, you'd just hear like a little like, woo. And it was like there was no confidence as the game was going on. Even as the Griz made their run and took the lead, it didn't seem like anybody seemed super comfortable with it. They were just like, oh, we're up right now. But it didn't seem like there was a lot of confidence that that lead was going to stick in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, and, you know, I hate to jump ahead, but, you know, they said in Bobby Houck's press conference, he specifically said that Vigen and the coaching staff got the absolute best out of the talent that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually kind of disagree with that to a certain extent. Yeah, they played a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't even think this is the best team that they can be. I still think that they, I mean, yeah, you know, we were I think I brought or said they were 30% better than the Yale game against SFA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were another 30% better than they were against SFA, against the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still, I mean, not very much, but there's still a few things. You know, still had a couple penalties, still had a fumble.
Yeah, not a perfect game in any way.
Yeah, tackling more or less was pretty damn good, but there was, you know, I'm sure we could go back and find something there. But, I mean, there's still some things. I mean, these guys can get better.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. Like, that was not the best game that they could possibly play. It was great, but I still think they can be even better. Yeah. And that's the scary part about this team, because they are so young and can stay together for, you know, as long as they're willing to stick in Bozeman, they're going to be together for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, we made it, Ben. We made it over the hump. And like the rest of the season, be damned. Like we said, the winner of this game is going to get 15 years of bragging rights, because this probably will never happen again.
It's very unlikely. I mean, it took 120 some years for it to happen in the first place. And both programs are still going to be good. I'm really interested to see what we hear this week as far as Griz transfer portal goes. I'm really interested to see who sticks around, because honestly, I would like to see all of these Griz players stay. And I would like to see all of our Cat players stay. And I would like to see this become a streak, because we could see another year of Lamson. Still has one more year of eligibility. Ayat's got eligibility. I believe Gilman also has eligibility. And we could basically run everything back minus, like, our big graduates would be Julius Davis and Paul Brott, right?
Kenny Iden, Hunter Parsons.
Yeah. So we would lose quite a bit on the D-line, but we would be talking about an all-time streak and making this like a true rivalry if everybody sticks around. So selfishly, I would kind of like everybody to stick around on the Griz, because I think it would just make for some more magical moments between these two teams.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think, you know, I think for me, just, you know, kind of looking at the Grizzly roster, they're graduating like 26, 27 dudes.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, they're going to be, they're going to have to fill some holes, a lot of holes. And for me, on the transfer portal side of things, that to me, I guess, that says there should be enough NIL funds to keep their, you know, their guys.
The current ones that are still have eligibility.
Yeah, Ayat, Gilman, Brooks Davis, you know,
Wortham.
a couple. No, I think Wortham's a senior.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I think he's done. Maybe he finds some eligibility somewhere. Who actually knows what that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
but
we could. We don't even know what eligibility means anymore, honestly.
No, but like, I feel like their big three, not named Wortham, they probably find the funds with all those guys leaving.
Yep.
Somewhere they probably find it, but I mean, they got a lot of holes to fill, and they'll have to hit the transfer portal pretty good again.
Yep.
But I mean, that is the thing. I mean, football in the state of Montana is better when both teams are better. Yeah, I love to blow the Grizzlies out, and they feel the same way about the Bobcats. But truth be told, it's a lot more fun when both teams are good and there's actual stake to the game other than just blowing somebody out in their stadium or whatever it is.
Definitely.
It's just it's a better product to put forward, and you know, I will be extremely interested to see what the viewership numbers do, because we set an all-time stadium attendance record by what, 3,000, 4,000 people?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was packed in there. It was impossible to find anywhere to sit or stand for the most part. It was absolutely crazy. That was one of the only things that annoyed me the entire game, was going up to the student section, and there was like a smattering of Griz fans up there. And I was like, I should at least be able to find a spot up here. Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
It's the student section.
I can honestly say I have been to a lot of football games at Montana State University.
Mm-hmm.
I've never quite heard it like that. And that includes, like, one of the other loudest ones I've ever heard was Gold Rush double overtime with SDSU.
Mm-hmm.
That game was loud. That had nothing. Absolutely nothing on this one.
Yeah. All the juice in the world.
Mean, the pops from the stadium on every big play were unbelievably loud. Like, it actually would hurt your ears out there.
Yeah. It was, the atmosphere of the stadium was amazing. Everybody was just, there was a lot of togetherness. There wasn't even a lot of hate going on for the few Griz fans that were there. I didn't hear a lot. Obviously, I'm not involved in every interaction that happened out there, so I'm sure there was some heated ones. But everything I heard, everybody was being respectful and just really into cheering for their team. And that's all you had to do. There was no reason to be negative throughout this game, at least that I saw. There wasn't a whole lot of reasons for boos or anything like that. It was just straight up cheering on the Cats because they were making great play after great play.
I mean, I'm a little bit jealous that, like, the kids that are in college now, they don't remember any of the bad stuff that happened to the Bobcats. All they know is
spoiled young fans.
Bobcat.
Yeah.
I mean, in all reality, like, the kids that are 18, 19, 20 years old, they've never known anything but good football.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't remember if they were even going to games at 7, 8 years old, but they probably don't remember much before that. And let me tell you, 2005, 2006 still wasn't as bad as some of the stuff I remember.
Yeah.
But it also wasn't great.
Yeah.
And then that's where things turned, and everything started changing, and the climb up happened, and those young kids, they are spoiled, and they are lucky.
They are very lucky, for sure.
There are some of us that didn't think we'd ever get there.
No. And we are going to enjoy every moment of being here at the top of the mountain.
Yes. Yes. But we haven't even talked about anything that happened in the game.
No. We haven't. No specifics needed for so far, but we'll go through everything specifically for sure.
I mean, I don't think you can even talk about this game without talking about Adam Jones.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Mm-hmm.
There were some huge plays made by other guys, but Adam Jones was untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
He is such a freak of nature, athletically. The Grizzlies had absolutely no answer. And when he needed a breather, there was Julius Davis to just run the ball right down their throats. They could not stop him from getting 4, 5, 6, 7 yards of gash.
Yeah.
It was impossible for that defensive line to even touch them.
Mm-hmm. He ran with a lot of power. Not a ton of yardage came up throughout the game, but when we needed the yardage, it seemed like Julius Davis was always able to get it. And just like you said, Adam Jones, just a crazy day, all on the ground. We didn't see as much from him in the receiving games. He didn't even get a reception in this game, but he didn't need to. He had 131 yards. He was playing like a man possessed, like he had something to prove, going against this Griz team that overlooked him. He just wanted to go out there, and he had bad intentions with the way he was playing. And it was just great to see him be able to have that type of game, and so excited to see just what the future has in store for Adam Jones. Because you got to think this is not the end of the road for him. This isn't even close to the end of the road for him.
I mean, he has a lot of ceiling.
Oh yeah,
a very, very high ceiling. He's already extremely good.
Yeah,
his ceiling is crazy high, and it just makes this game even cooler because the kids that broke the Grizzlies' back are all from the state of Montana. Paul Brott, Zach Cruz, Adam Jones, Taco Dowler, Caden Dowler. That sucks to lose him.
Yeah.
But that one tackle he made was a huge one. At the beginning of the game, it was a tone-setting tackle. Unfortunate outcome. But, I mean, the stars of the team were the guys from our state.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing ever.
And
it's not Michael Wortham, who's not from Montana. It's not Khalili Ayat, who's not from the state. Eli Gilman, not from the state of Montana.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best feeling ever when Montana kids are beating up on kids not from the state of Montana. And that's pretty cool.
Crazily, we haven't even mentioned the guy that basically sealed this game in Bryce Grebe. Yeah. Also another dude from the state of Montana who essentially called this game a wrap, with that interception that he took back for a touchdown. And then also Cole Taylor getting robbed a little bit,
A little bit.
A little
How about
bit.
a lot of it?
A lot of bit,
Taylor.
You could say. But that's another Montana dude who made a massive play at the end of this game when we were just piling it on in the fourth quarter.
Dude, Cole Taylor got screwed.
Yeah.
He got screwed hard.
He did.
I feel awful. I feel awfully sick for him because that's one of those moments, dude. That is, a moment that you will remember your entire, in the biggest game, like non-national championship game stuff. That's probably the biggest one that there will ever be.
Yep.
And they took that from him.
Yeah.
And he deserved every single point of those 7 points or 6 points. And yeah, I do feel sick for Cole Taylor. But once again, there's another Montana kid just absolutely balling out.
Yeah. It reminds me of early in this season, and I'm not trying to go too hard on any of the fans we have here, but we received a comment early on this year saying, I don't care about having players from the state of Montana. We need to start recruiting out of state so that we can compete on a national level. That's how NDSU does it, and that's how they win national championships all the time. And I think this team, beyond anything else, has proven that statement completely false. It proves that a bunch of dudes from Montana can be good enough if they go at it together the way this Bobcat team plays. There's plenty of talent in the state of Montana to get this stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole, the whole thing I started it off with. You can take a stud group of Montana kids, sprinkle in some guys from out of state. They're essentially, the second, our corners.
Yeah.
Are unbelievably good from the state of Texas.
Yeah.
We don't win this game without those guys either. Of
Very
course.
true. Very true.
And they just fit perfectly with the Montana guys. And I mean, and that's kind of what you want in any college in any state is a lot of homegrown talent coming coming into the doors.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle in the guys from out of state. And with the proper coaching, which we have, you can turn guys like for instance, Petrie. He comes in for Caden Dowler. I mean, he played as well as he has all year long.
Yeah.
He played extremely well. I mean, the Schaefer injury was unfortunate, but what else was he supposed to do? Schaefer is 270 pounds, 6'6" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Was he supposed to hit him in the shoulder pads? I don't think so. I don't think so. You gotta take the legs out. I mean, that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stop the legs from moving. And if we're being totally honest, maybe Ayat shouldn't throw hospital balls to his guys constantly.
Yeah.
Because
there was some bad looks out there. Yeah.
I mean, we see that kind of stuff in every single game.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback leaves a dude high and dry out there, and he gets absolutely pasted. That's unfortunately what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But Petrie makes that tackle. They don't score a touchdown right there, and that's a big freaking deal.
Yeah. It was just, if you look at the receiving numbers, Wortham gets 8 for 85. I think that's about as shut down as you can do with Michael Wortham outside of the last time we played the Griz, and he had, I believe, even less yards than that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but just the fact that this defense has been able to find a way to shut down Michael Wortham when no other team was able to do that all year long.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. I mean, and honestly, I'm a little surprised that Wortham even got 85 yards. It didn't feel like it.
No.
I never looked at the statistics to see, but I did see a fun comment from a Griz fan on Facebook, on FCS Nation Facebook page, and it said that Ayat is better than Lamson, Wortham is better than Taco, and Gilman is better than Jones. And the only reason the Cats won the game is because our lines are better. And I want to say, yeah, of course our lines are better. Our lines have been better than theirs for years, minus, Alec Gubner.
Yeah.
I mean, but Ayat is not a clutch quarterback. Lamson is.
Mm-hmm.
And you just take talent out of it. Give me the clutch guy. Yeah. Because Lamson just finds ways to win football games. And Ayat, he is essentially the reason they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, throwing that pick to Bryce Greavy on 4th down was it. That was over. It was over before that, but that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing enough to make the team win. And yeah, his offensive line, it didn't do him a lot of favors. Yeah. But the great ones find a way, and he's not clutch like Lamson.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes the same for Michael Wortham is supposed to be, quote unquote, Mr. Do-It-All. And I'm not saying he isn't extremely talented, because he is.
Yeah.
But guess who came through as the clutch gene when it mattered the most? Taco Dowler on 3rd and 20 made dudes look silly. He made 2 Grizzly players run into each other and then ran away from the rest of them.
Yeah. Ultimately, so I feel like
take skill out of it.
Yeah.
Give me the clutch guys all day long.
Ultimately, I feel like a comment like that really doesn't matter in any kind of way. Because you can always have your opinion on Ayat versus Lamson, Gilman versus Adam Jones, Gilman versus Julius Davis. You can have those opinions, but essentially what they were saying with that comment is that the Cats are a better team. Because that's just the fact. Like, culturally, the way that these guys are playing together and the way that they're playing as a unit, offense, defense, special teams, all levels, they are a complete team. And we don't even know what the numbers could be for these guys. Because if you look at a guy like Taco Dowler, if he is the only receiver on this team, like if he's the only person that we can rely on the roster, he has well over 1,000 yards. He has Michael Wortham type numbers. But the fact of the matter is we've got guys like Dane Steele, Jabez Woods, Chris Long, Ryan King, to where we spread the ball around and we play as a team and we play more balanced, because you can't simply just guard one guy. It's not going to work. If you try to just guard one guy against the Cats, you're still going to get dominated. And if Adam Jones or Julius Davis had the carries that Gilman has, where do you think their numbers would be at? They would be through the roof, just like Gilman's. So it's impossible to even really make a competent argument that way. And really what you're saying with your argument is that you have a worse team. You're saying you have more talented players, but you have a worse team. So fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, and that's the other thing is, the Cats broke they broke the Grizzlies with the run game, but the pass game was just as effective. In all reality, I mean, Lencioni had that catch down toward the goal line that was unreal. Adam Jones, he has his hands on his head like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Unreal catch. Ryan King burned the Mr. Loud, the guy who was supposed to fix the entire Grizzly team. He had the step on him. Lamson just overthrew him just a touch. But I mean, that would have been a monster play, running across the field right down the middle.
Yeah.
And he just barely missed him. But I mean, he put himself in a place to catch. I mean, that's the Cats are better in every spot all the way across the field. They don't have any holes. The Grizzlies have no defensive line. Dude, I absolutely despise Peyton Wing. That guy drives me nuts. That greasy, nasty hair. I can't stand him out there. I don't like him. I don't even think I know he got some awards and stuff, but minus an unblocked tackle, he really was more or less ineffective. I don't know. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah.
But regardless, the other thing Houck brought up in his press conference was he didn't agree with the targeting call. That was a masterclass of how you call it targeting. I don't think there was any question, in anybody's mind that was clearly targeting. By the letter of the law. You can argue it all you want, but that is how you were supposed to call it. You can't earhole somebody when they're catching a ball. And those guys, that was the most classless thing I have ever seen in a Cat Grizz game. 6 Grizzlies dancing above Taco Dowler laying on the field grabbing at his head.
Yeah. It was a tough look, and it's just like, yeah, that's a tough one to recover from. And I don't know if guys don't know what's going on in the situation or what happens, because it all happens pretty quickly, but it definitely looked terrible. Yeah, it was a terrible look. And then you have the Grizzly coach saying F you to the refs after a pass interference call. You can agree or not agree, but you cannot tell me that Julius Davis flashing a peace sign to somebody is more deserving of a flag than your head coach screaming F you to a ref on the side of the field on national television. Yeah. Caught in 4K.
You cannot make that. You can't make that argument.
Yeah. It doesn't exist. And it's just, the Cats did to the Grizzlies what they have been doing to teams all year long. By the end of the day, they took their ball and they wanted to go home. They did not want to play football anymore. They did it to extremely talented players all throughout the Big Sky Conference schedule, where the defense is punishing, and it makes you frustrated, and it makes you lose your cool because the pressure is constant. Every single play, you are barely inching something out, and they may make a couple mistakes throughout the game and give up 20 yards, 30 yards here or there, but for the most part, they are not giving you anything. You have to absolutely earn every single inch you get, and that is frustrating. And we saw that on the players' faces. We saw it on the coach's face. We saw it in his body language and what he was doing and what he was saying. He was frustrated because he had no answer. There was simply no answer to the Cats yesterday.
I mean, in reality, that final score should have been 55-23. Should have been a 50-burger with that, unfortunate issue with Cole Taylor there. But, I mean, in reality, that fumble gave them 7 right there. I mean, this was not that close of a game. Like, yeah, they let the Grizzlies kind of sniff it a little bit. But, boy, I mean, talk about the mind of a goldfish. They Ted Lassoed that thing like you've never seen before.
Definitely.
When things weren't going their way, they just put the blinders on and put pedal to the metal and honestly belt to ass the rest of game.
Yeah, it was. It was just the looking through the fourth quarter, just the way they absolutely shut them down and didn't give them an inch is absolutely impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a masterclass. Of course, shout out to Coach Vigen, but Sean Howe called an awfully impressive game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was on top of it, making the correct adjustments when it was called for.
Mm-hmm.
Sturbick, I never felt like I was wondering what he was up to. I mean, I honestly am not really sure they went that deep into the playbook. I think he called that one pretty close to home, do the things you're great at. And I had absolutely no complaints with the game that he called. He was on one.
And that's what we've liked about Sturbick all season long, where it's nothing crazy fancy. They just puts in the right things and everyone executes. Like it seems like pretty, not simple, but just competent football, where it's like every single person is going to do their job. Everybody knows what they're going to do. They just do it so well that it can't be stopped.
I've watched 3 playoff games for the Bobcats now, and I am 100% certain that Yale is the best team that we've faced.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that. I don't know if they also caught the Cats off guard, because I think that should have been a very different game. But when you look at the way that the defensive and offensive lines for Yale played in that game, I definitely think there's an argument to be made that at the line, Yale was the strongest team, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I was just so impressed with every part of this game. I had no complaints really on it all. The only time you felt any kind of stress really was, kind of right there at the beginning of the third quarter when they went up on us. But even then, you just felt like we hadn't even seen it yet. And can you ask for a better time for your football team to be playing some of their best football?
No.
I can't.
They rose to the occasion when they needed to.
I mean, what they've managed to get out of, these kids are young, especially on that secondary.
Oh, yeah.
These kids are really young. And they've had to go through adversity. I mean, Seth Johnson was hurt for a time period. Caden Dowler, unfortunately, now. J.J. Dolan, he got hurt. Aaron's got hurt. Neil Daly was sick for a while. I mean, that defense has had to. Paul Brott, that dude is playing through some pretty major injuries. I mean, the adversity they've come, it's awfully impressive what they've been able to do here.
It would be interesting to look at just how many players have touched the field for the Cats on defense, because you got to imagine they have stepped deep into the depth chart at every single position, it feels like, throughout the season. We've always talked about the cold front and how they're constantly switching dudes, and they're playing 8, 12 guys on the defensive line throughout the game as it goes on. And then we look at the injuries that have happened at linebacker and stuff in the secondary, like you were just mentioning. The Cats have had to play a lot of dudes, and they are all ready, and they have all stepped up in the moments where they were asked to. We haven't seen that many blunders, even though we're playing with people that haven't been in for a ton of snaps.
Well, and we've talked before about, the defensive line, they sub guys in, and the production level doesn't ever fall off.
The pressure stays on.
When you're running with Paul Broughton and Alec Eckert in there, and those are 2 absolute studs, and Zach Black comes in with Talon Marsh, and there's no production drop off there at all. So it's like, that, and that's the beauty of what Vigen has built, is that the team is deep enough that they can, they're keeping guys fresh, and they're, if somebody goes down, God forbid, there's another guy ready to rock and roll in his place. And Yeah, it's a well-oiled machine right now.
Mm-hmm.
Still some room to grow, which is the crazy thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even think we've seen their best game.
No.
We're going to Nashville, man.
We're going to Nashville, baby. First
We're
year
going.
ever in Nashville. Oh, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I can't believe it. I mean, I knew we were going to be good this year. Didn't think we were going to be this good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you aren't bought in yet, I don't know what else they can possibly do.
What are you looking for? If you're not sold on this team, what are you looking for?
I mean, my biggest thing is just the Cat Griz thing is changed forever.
Yeah.
Finally, it has finally flipped. You know, all that crap they talked. You know, we are 8-2 in the last 10.
Yeah.
This year we beat them in their house, brought them back, and they talked a lot of crap, and then they just punched him in the mouth again. I mean, 2 times in a month is pretty special, if I may say so myself.
Yeah. It is
pretty special.
It is a beautiful thing. History was made. The Bobcats prevailed. I just don't know what else we could ask for other than a national championship. That's it. That's the last step on the road.
1-0.
1-0 until
and
it leads to a trophy.
Yeah. Job. I loved his speech in the Vigen speech in the locker room. It was awesome. You know, job's not done. The job's not done. And I mean, it isn't yet. Yeah. But I'm going to relish in this one for a while. Yeah. I'm going to enjoy every second of this.
It's a good thing that there's 2 weeks till the national championship because we're going to need all of those 2 weeks to soak this in, I feel like.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 24 hours since the game. And you're still finding new cool things that came out of that game. I haven't even had a chance to watch it for a second time yet, but that's on the agenda.
Oh, definitely. Definitely going to happen. And just looking through these stats, just like you were saying, like little nuggets keep popping out here and there where it's like I didn't even realize it was that good. Like third down efficiency for the Cats, 10 for 14. Like crushed it. And that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, just straight up clutch. When a play needed to be made, they made a play. They got those first downs, and those turned into scores. It was just playing football the right way, through and through.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, and there was, I think 3 of those third downs were just killers to the Grizzlies too. I mean, that 3rd and 20 to Taco.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just something you can't do as a Grizzly, that Grizzly team. You just can't let that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that was as bad as it gets.
Yeah. That is.
Be alive. What a time to be Bob.
It's just an embarrassment of riches. It is all it is. Just so many dudes on this team made so many impact plays, not even yesterday, but throughout the entire season that has led us up to this, throughout this playoff run, there's just been so many dudes that have made their mark on Montana State history throughout this run. And this is a team that is going to be talked about for a very, very long time. And it's just mind-blowing because we've been talking about so much about last year's team and how those were historic guys and how those were some of the all-time best Bobcats to ever play. And then we take a step up somehow. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, in all reality, nobody thought the post-touchdown Tommy would show up with a Justin Lamson who is very quickly crawling up the Mount Rushmore of Bobcat quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Very quickly.
He is making a fastest ascent we've ever seen out of any player ever.
I mean, the tandem of Adam Jones and Julius Davis is I mean, they're as effective as the Cody Kirks and the Isaiah Fonses of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're moving their way up. Taco Dowler. I mean, we had some fantastic wide receivers. Ty McCullough and some of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Taco, he might be already a top 5 easily.
Yeah.
Without maybe even top 3 with what he's done. I mean, that play, I was trying to figure out if that 3rd and 20 he took for a touchdown was better than the miracle in Missoula. That one play, the fumble recovery at the goal line at Cat Griz in 28.
Tough. Yeah.
Or this one. I mean, 3rd and 20 from, what was that? That was an 87-yard touch. So from your 13-yard line, your own 13, you go 87 yards on an absolute. I mean, that may be the best play I've ever seen in Bobcat Stadium for sure.
Yeah. It is extremely impressive the way that they handled that, and just completely not so much unexpected, but we were going into this game and there was a lot of tension around the state, around the Bobcats, around how they were going to respond and how they were on this downward trajectory, or that they were having some bad games during the playoffs. And they must have the bulletin board was full for these guys going into this game. They didn't need to find motivation anywhere. They had plenty of people, plenty of naysayers going after them, and they just went in there and handled business. And I was so glad to see Taco have the game that he's had, just because we haven't really brought it up much, but just we were expecting stupid numbers to come out of Taco Dowler this season. And because of the selflessness of this team and the way they spread around the ball, nobody was going to have crazy numbers. And then Taco just comes out there and balls out in the most important game of his entire career, barring the national championship last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And it's as simple as that for these guys.
It really is. Yeah. And, the Grizzly fans, they can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's flat out. The Bobcats have been better than the Grizzlies for quite a while.
Yeah. They've been showing up.
Just how it is.
Since the return of Hauk, the Cats have just been better. It's just a fact.
Can I get 4 more years of Hauk, please?
Can I please get 4 more years of Hauk, please? Bring back Bobcats for Bobby. Bring it all the way back. 2-6 against the Cats since he made his return. I wouldn't have even guessed that when it started. There's no way I would have guessed that. I always thought it was weird that they rehired Hauk. I didn't see it going this way, and I didn't see it as a meltdown the way we saw yesterday. I did not see that coming.
I mean, and the thing is, and it's nothing that Hauk can control. He can only do what he has on the schedule. But I mean, if you look at their schedule this year, it was not a good one to get you ready for, a national title run. In all honesty, I mean, they played Sacred Heart and Central Washington. Those are 2 terrible teams. Why would you even want that on your schedule? They didn't play UC Davis this year, who was a very good team. The only real team that they played was us, and they got us at home, and we still beat them.
Yep.
They went to Sac State. Sac State is marginal at best. And then
that was a mess all year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was no, they didn't play very many road games in places that really mattered.
No.
There was no way for them to prepare for this, and then they get marginal Dakota teams.
Yeah,
I just got a text that Vidlac's little brother committed to the Cats.
There we go. Bring him in. Keep this train a rolling.
I mean,
Nah,
I do
it's
want to think that was he committed to the Cats as a little payback for his older brother. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
That kid's supposed to be a stud.
hmm And it's crazy, and it's just going to bring on more success. This success is just going to add on to future success because we've seen it in the recruiting battles the last few years where the Cats have dominated in-state like we've been talking about, and it's just because the Cats are the cool team to play for now.
Right now,
In the past,
Yeah.
that was never the case. If you were one of the best players in the state of Montana, you were like dreaming of one day playing for the Griz. That was just the reality of it for years and years and years. And that has gone and been flipped directly on its head. And I think that more and more parents want to see their kids playing for a coach like Vigen. I think Vigen and just the way he carries himself and the maturity with which he coaches and his demeanor and the way you truly feel like he's just trying to mold people into being great men. I think a lot of parents want that out of their coach. And so they're kind of steering those kids and being like, I think this is the right type of man to be learning from for the next 4 to 6 years, depending on your eligibility.
Exactly. And that's the thing, the sustained non-fluky success is how you get bigger commitments from guys. Everybody wants to win.
Yep.
Every football player wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you win and the longer your seasons are going and the further into December and January that you're playing just means, and that, that referencing that comment from earlier about North Dakota State, like, let's not remember that they still clean sweep the top in North Dakota. Like, Carson Wentz was from North Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, there's that guy with the red hair that plays for the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's from North Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're just abandoning North Dakota.
No.
They're just
getting
the
by
best
no means. Yeah.
Going elsewhere also.
Yeah.
And that's what you get to do when you're the best of the best.
Mm-hmm. That's just
Let's
what
go.
Vigen has been
It's
building.
a good time.
God, it's just awesome. So lucky to have a coach like Vigen. The entire coaching staff, like we've talked about Howe and Sturbick and the way they called this game, but just the way, when we talk about how much turnover there's been in the coaching staff and how every single year it feels like we're changing OC, DC, a bunch of different positions, and the fact that those coaches have came in and still not just found ways to keep the current level of success, but also make the program greater, it is amazing. You just think about the decisions they had to make hiring coaches, and they've had to make a good dozen decisions over the last 2 years, and it seems like they have not missed a single time. They have picked the right guys to put in the right spots, and it's beautiful. And that's a big part of the success too. It's not just putting the right players in the right spots, but it's putting the right coaches in the right spots to mold those guys and to help them get better throughout the season. And that's exactly what we've seen from this team. At the beginning of the year when we played against SDSU, this is another world of a team that we are seeing right now from that team at the beginning of the season. We are seeing a completely different squad made up of all the same players because they have grown so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it's those, like the Sam Mix, Jody Owens, Coach Bapp, it's those guys, with their and that's loyalty right there. Those guys stay within the organization. They move their way up the ranks. They stick with their dudes. I mean, the relationships between the players and them is phenomenal. Obviously, you can see it, all the time. And, while there was turnover, there was still that stability with those guys right there, just, filling in the spots because, those, whether you want to call it promotion or whatever, was very much deserved. Yeah, they belong in those spots, obviously, with what we're seeing. I mean, this team just continues to learn and get better. They clean mistakes up week to week. 30% better this week, 25, 40, whatever, every week, and that is what we've seen, and that's how you beat the Grizzlies twice in one season.
Yeah. That's how you get to this point where you are favored to win a national championship. That is how.
By 9.5.
Yeah, and you just see, just like you've been saying, the year-over-year success and the way that they have built this program into being a true program. And like you said, we could be at the start of a dynasty right now. We haven't won anything real yet, which is still be to remembered.
I think we should say the D word.
As far as Montana State goes, I think it's definitely a D word. On the national scale, that's the next step, and that's the next proving ground to step onto. And that's a good thing to have, because as good as this team is right now, they still haven't truly reached the mountaintop. I know it feels like that for us. For Montanans, this is the mountaintop. We don't care. Like, we could care less. Like, to a point, we could care less what happens in Nashville right now, if I'm being real honest. But that is the next step, and it's always good to have that next goal and that next thing that you need to push after. And it's good to have that the job's not done mentality and still be able to push and strive for something, because we could be looking at a program that is very successful for a lot of years.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think the only thing I have left to say, and I've been holding off for a while because I really, as much as I hate Grizzlies and I hate the Grizzly fan base for the most part, I haven't got to say what I truly wanted to say, and that's neener, suck it, Grizzlies.
I knew it was coming. I had to tell him. Had to get the neener in there. God, it is just, it's immature, and that's why we like it. That's what we're here for.
And we're the last one standing, the last one of the big four.
Mm-hmm.
We're the last one standing. I mean, everybody should have that little bit of sense of pride that, sucks to suck, NDSU, but guess who's here and who's not? Yeah. We're still here and you're not, so suck it.
Yeah, NDSU's not there. U of M's not there. SDSU is not there. All of the monsters are gone. They have been slayed, either by us or by someone else. And it's just time to finish one more game in Nashville and then tie a bow on this beautiful season.
Yeah. Amen, man. Amen. What a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm. Just the luckiest fan base of all time right now. Lucky dudes.
It feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels great. Feels fulfilling for something that I really had no part in whatsoever. Yeah.
that grizzly monkey is officially off of our backs.
Yeah. And I know that people are going to find ways to make arguments, and it's still you never 100% win the fan battle. But it really feels like all the arguments that can be made don't matter to me anymore. Like, you can say a lot of things, and you can come up with this, that, or the other argument or whatever, but at this point, it really doesn't feel like it's going to affect me at all, just because the proof is in the pudding. It's right there on the scoreboard. Like, you don't really need anything other than that.
I mean, that's probably my favorite part about this whole feeling right now, and why it is kind of hard to look forward to, or to really focus on the national championship so much, is I've spent the last 24 hours watching Grizzly Nation implode and turn on each other and go after Houck to no end, and just absolutely losing their mind, because that is what is happening right now. These guys they're mad and sad and trying to put blame in all these different places, and they're just literally imploding in front of us, where if it was flip-flopped, it'd be like, that sucks. I hate it. Not happy about it. We'll see you next year. Where Grizzlies are like, fire the whole team, burn the buildings down. We want Houck's head on a pike out front of whatever they call their student union building.
Yeah. It's a tough
I'm here
look.
for it, Ben. I'm here for it.
Yeah. It's a little sad, to be real honest. I don't know why, but it's just watching everything fall apart doesn't even feel good. What does feel good is this Cat team, though. and everything that they've accomplished throughout this season and everything that they've earned. Just feels great. So happy for those dudes. All the dudes that have been working for years, JT Reed, Julius Davis, guys that have been just ride or die with this squad for a long time. Like, even it was a successful team when they showed up, but they really carried the torch of Cat culture along with some other guys. I'm not saying that those are the only two guys, but those are the two that are coming to the front of my mind right now, just because they're the older guard on this team. And just the ability for those guys to carry this team forward, keep Cat culture alive, and put them in a spot where they are favored in the national championship. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I keep repeating myself, and I'll probably never stop.
Yeah. Going to Nashville, baby.
Going to Nashville. Anything else you got for them before we let them go?
Not unless you want me to hit you with another neener.
I think the Griz fans are good with one. I think they're fine with one. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Go ahead and follow this wherever you are listening to us at. Hit that subscribe button. All the good stuff like that. Rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this. Follow us on Instagram and X at CatsPod. Follow us on YouTube at The CatsPod. And we will catch you guys next week so we can get ready for this national championship. But right now, we are just celebrating another beautiful Caturday.
Adios.